Hey everybody, it's Magic Prepper, and I wanted to give you an update surrounding this whole ammo issue and to give you some other things to think about when it comes to similar situations that might arise here in the near future. Now, first off, look, in that last video, I was trying to explain that I have access to wholesale distributors, which means I can acquire ammunition before it gets to the retail store that you then go to buy it at. So me telling you in that video that I didn't have access to any 5.56 for less than $20 a box of 20 at that point was a warning as to what you should expect moving forward with these retailers. And if you can't tell, since that video, ammo prices have gone up quite a bit actually. So I do want to let you know about some other calibers that this is likely to happen to here soon. It won't just be 5.56, and 5.56 is definitely going up in price and becoming more scarce. So before I do that, I need to mention that Midway USA is the biggest supporter of the channel, and thanks to them, I get out here on the range in the middle of a snowstorm and blast some lead down range because that's what I like to do here. So big thanks to Midway USA. Now, 5.56 began this whole situation because its commercial contracts from the Lake City ammo plant were canceled, right? So the government apparently decided they were going to need a lot of ammo for some reason, who knows, right? Well, here's what I'm seeing right now, and it kind of lets you know how things are probably going to progress, okay? The next cheapest rifle ammo that I have access to that is relatively popular and generally found chambered in very similar platforms to this one is going to be 300 Blackout. And 300 Blackout makes a great secondary ammo in order to train on the same manual of arms in the same size of weapon system while also using the same magazine. So it makes a lot of sense that people would have a 300 Blackout or two laying around, right? I have one as well. And of course, running them suppressed with subsonic loadings is amazing. Well, you can still get 300 Blackout for relatively cheap right this second if you go around and search hard enough. And in fact, I found 300 Blackout for cheaper than 5.56 in some places. But from my point of view, seeing what the distributor prices look like and what's available, that's all going to change here relatively soon because people are going to start switching over to these other calibers because if 300 Blackout's cheaper than 5.56, and if you have a 300 Blackout, then you're probably going to start stocking up on that next because, well, if it's cheaper than 5.56, I might as well just get that, right? So I'm seeing boxes of 300 Blackout, at least supersonic loadings, for about $15 per 20, and that's at my distributor pricing right now. That's about the cheapest I can get it for. For a minute there, I could get it for $12 a box of 20. Not bad, right, for 300 Blackout. 15 is the cheapest now, and that selection keeps going further and further down. And for subsonic loadings, it's $1 per round no matter what now. And I used to be able to do that for around, $15 to $16 a box for subsonic loadings. Now it's $20 or more no matter what. So from what it looks like, it seems that 300 Blackout is next on the list. Now, if you want to talk about handgun ammo, handguns seem to be kind of at least bumping up slightly just because of the overall additional consumption of ammunition right now. And 9mm is still the cheapest I have access to, and I still have access to some 9mm, but I'm getting into the more obscure companies when it comes to that. So what does that mean? It means that these are brands that you've not really heard of and you might be taking a risk on if you've never tried their stuff out, but if you want to get it for the same price you were buying Federal or Blazer or PMC or whatever else it was that you were getting before, well, now you're going to have to kind of take a risk or you're going to spend more on Federal, Blazer, and PMC. So the whole deal there is just that I'm not really a big fan of like obscure ammo. And when I say that, I mean like names I've literally never heard before. I'm not talking about, like there's some great ammo brands out there that just aren't thought of as often as like the big ones, right? Like for example, like Aguila and stuff like that. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about stuff I've never ever heard of in my life that I suddenly have access to for the same prices that I used to buy high quality top tier stuff from. So I don't know, but this is kind of what I'm letting you know about. And then another thing to keep in mind is that people similarly to what they're doing with 300 Blackout are going to start moving to 308 or 7.62 by 51 NATO. And I'm also seeing some similar activity with 6.5 Creedmoor, but just not as much. And of course, 308 being a NATO round and being, a very proliferate round here in the United States, it's also more expensive. I used to be able to get basic 150 grain full metal jackets for like 15 bucks a box of 20. Now they're $21, $22 a box. This isn't me. Like, I hope you guys understand. I'm not causing this by giving you this information. I'm telling you what to expect. I told you to stock up on ammo a long time ago, multiple times, while we were in like a good spot where it was relatively affordable again. I was like, hey, now's the time. You can go back and check those videos out if you want, but This is me letting you know what to expect moving forward. And honestly, if this war continues to escalate and expand, I don't think we're gonna be in a spot to buy it for any cheaper than it is right now. And what they say about ammo is that the best time to buy it was yesterday, but the second best time to buy it is right now. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I stocked up on some more ammo. I got a lot of ammo coming my way, and I already have a lot of ammo, but I shoot a lot too. So I just don't wanna find myself in a situation where I can't shoot as much as I want to in order to keep my efficiency up, right? And I'm grabbing stuff from Midway, and then, I'm getting stuff from wherever I can in the sense of the distributors that I have access to, but it's getting tight, right? This should tell you quite a bit. Like this is what's happening, okay? And in case anyone was wondering, because I know this is kind of interesting, right? This is actually a Victos brand Farthermost jacket. This is one of their winter jackets, and it's got a built-in chest rig, which I think is super awesome. And it also has like 20 other pockets. It's got right here where you see my microphone. This is all cable management that's inside of the jacket right here that would allow you to run comms or whatever else. And there's internal pockets for like a radio or whatever else you got to use it for. So like this jacket's actually pretty legit. I'm pretty happy about it. So if you're wanting a cold weather jacket that you can actually use as a chest rig, so you don't have to wear a chest rig over it or under it, depending on the situation, this Farthermost jacket from Victos is pretty legit. So just thought I'd bring that to your attention. They did send it to the channel, full disclosure, but that's because I've bought in a lot of their stuff and reached out to them and said, hey, I like what you guys do. You got anything else you think would be cool for me to test out? And this is one of the things they sent me. So I'm testing it out the way I should, which is out here in like blizzard conditions, basically, right? So listen, I'm not trying to cause a panic. I don't need you guys to go spend your life savings on ammo. I just want you to know that if you don't have enough ammo, waiting isn't really the best idea right this second. And one of my good friends I talk to on a regular basis, a guy who knows quite a bit when it comes to the industry as well as just the happenings in the world, he's looking at it in the sense of like in World War II when you couldn't buy a new car, right? Well, it's gonna be very much similar that way here in World War III when it comes to ammunition. You're gonna be able to just go buy ammo at the store if we're in a global conflict with multiple superpowers and our military is already stretched thin and doesn't have the equipment or the ammunition required in order to fight that type of battle? Probably not. Not to mention other things this can apply to, okay? So what are we talking about when we say that? Anything else you think the military might be in a shortage of right now or might require more of, especially if they, I don't know, get additional reserves or maybe enact the draft? What is it they might need, and what is it that we have access to as civilians right now that has more of a military application? And then will they need to cut those commercial contracts or authorize a Defense Production Act in order to make those companies produce for the government before we have access, right? I think that's a pretty obvious answer on that one, and I think the answer is yes, they will probably need quite a bit when it comes to that. So that can apply to a lot of things. That can apply to any of your kit when it comes to body armor, plate carriers, chest rigs, belts, holsters, who knows what else they might need, right? Especially if you're rocking stuff for like the M18, M17, things that the military is straight up using right now. But this would also apply to things like night vision, for example, because with night vision, there's only so many tubes that can be grown because they're not manufactured, they're grown, right? So if you have to grow something, it takes time. So there's a limited supply pretty much at all times, which means that if they suddenly need a ton of it, it's not like they can replace it immediately. So, and if night vision is something that you're interested in, make sure you check out Nightline Inc. because those guys are awesome. They support the channel. And if you mention that Magic Prepper sent you over there, they'll give you 15% off, which with night vision is a lot of money. Let's just say that I wasn't gonna curse right there. So yeah, 15% off night vision is pretty awesome. And that's nightline-inc.com if you wanna go check that out. And then you have to call them to place an order because they wanna make sure you get exactly what you need and that you're not spending money on stuff you don't. So listen, I'm getting more ammo. You should probably get more ammo. Oh, you're causing the panic. Oh, you're making the ammo disappear. Oh, you're raising the... No, it's not me. It's not me. All this was happening before I said anything about it. I told you about it in order to warn you, not because I caused it. It's because I wanted to warn you that this was occurring before you were going to notice it, which many of you mistook for what I was saying. Oh, I can get boxes of 5.56 for $8.99 right now. What are you talking about? You're getting ripped off. No, that's not how this works. A distributor from a wholesale distributor is before you ever see it getting to these retailers where you're buying it, and then the retailers are selling you old stock, and once that stock goes out, they go back to order more, and there's either none to get or it's much more expensive now, and then suddenly the prices have to adjust, right? That's where we're at right now. The prices have adjusted inventory is falling, and I'm telling you what's coming next. 300 blackout, 308, and we also have 9mm still sitting okay, but you're gonna get the obscure stuff, and it's probably going to go up quite a bit in price. So, oh wow, hold on, I can fix it. There we go. I told you I'm in a blizzard right now. Look, let me know your thoughts in the comments below where this is going. We know that the powers that be want this war to escalate into something much larger, and they don't care what it does to you or how it affects you. So do what you need to do now, get what you can, and just understand what it is we're facing, and you'll come out on the other side of it okay. But if you need more ammo, I'd probably get it.